In this episode, I'm going to cover the Avenue Pirus and their rivalry with the neighborhood Crips. The Avenue Pirus were established over 40 years ago. They hail from the west side of Inglewood. The Avenue Pirus are one of the hoods outside the Compton claimant Piru. In Inglewood, them and the neighborhood Piru are the only two. The Avenue Pirus are allies of some hoods like the Inglewood Families, the Crenshaw Mafias, and the neighborhood Pirus. The Avenue Pirus are rivals of several Crip hoods. Some include the Rolling 90s, the Raymond Ave Crips, the Watergate Crips, and the Imperial Village Crips. With that being said, let's get into some cases. A man named Corey was at Winchell's Donuts at the corner of 108th and Crenshaw Boulevard in Inglewood. As he walked out the store, he heard several shots coming from the direction of his friend Rodney's blue Cutlass parked nearby. Corey immediately ran towards the car to see two men running from Rodney's car. When he got to Rodney was slumped over after being shot several times. He would lose his life. 2 weeks later, police took a man named Dante in for questioning. His side of the story was him and his friend Antoine were walking down the street where Rodney approached them asking where they were from. Dante and Antoine were both from 111 neighborhood Crip and recognized Rodney from being an Avenue Piru who they had a prior run-in with. Dante would say next, he see Rodney reaching, so he whipped out and shot Rodney for his own protection. Then him and Antoine ran away. Dante would end up receiving 25 years to life for this. On December 31st, 2008, around 11:20 a.m., the police responded to a shooting on East Hardy Street in Inglewood. A man named Clifton would be paralyzed. Clifton told the police he was riding his bike past another man who was riding his bike in the opposite direction. As Clifton looked back, he seen Ray, a person he later identified as an Avenue Piru, whip out a pole and fire multiple shots at him. Ray would admit he did the shooting for the benefit of the Avenue Pirus by putting in some work by shooting at an enemy. Ray would receive 23 years for the shooting. August 21st, 2009, an Avenue Piru named Otis was shot and he would lose his life. It was believed to be by the 111 neighborhood Crips. The next day, August 22nd, around 8 p.m., Leonard drove his girlfriend Akila to a store on Century Boulevard. Leonard was wearing a Yankees hat. Leonard would park his car and go inside the store. A red pickup truck with two men would soon arrive and park next to Leonard's car. The driver of the red pickup truck went inside the store and the passenger stayed inside the car. After a few minutes, the driver would get inside the red pickup truck and back his truck away from the parking lot. Leonard would soon come out and attempt to get inside his car. Akila would soon hear shots. She looked back to see someone shooting at Leonard. Leonard would run and would be chased into an alley. Akila ducked and waited till the shooting to end. When she thought the coast was clear, she drove the car to the alley to see Leonard slumped over. He would lose his life. The parking lot had 5 surveillance cameras in the lot and captured everything. The red pickup truck would come back being registered to a man named Joseph. Officers went to Otis' funeral on September 9th, where they would see Joseph as being one of the attendees. The same day, they showed Leonard's girlfriend Akila a photo lineup, and she picked Joseph out as the shooter. The next day, September 10th, Joseph was picked up. Joseph would be sentenced to 25 years to life. This last case happened on March 4th, 2011. On 108th and Western around 9 p.m., Arnisha would park her car on the corner. She was with her sister-in-law and her baby. Arnisha would call her son Cameron to come out to help to get a few things out the car. As Cameron and Arnisha were getting things out the car, they were approached by a man named Mitchell. Mitchell would say what's up to Cameron. After Cameron didn't respond, Mitchell would say, "I said what's up, hood? Where you from? On neighborhood 90s. Mitchell then got in Cameron's face. Cameron again ignored Mitchell. Arnisha would say he doesn't gangbang. Mitchell replied, "Nah," and pulled out his pole. Mitchell shot Cameron in the mouth. Cameron immediately fell. Arnisha jumped in front of Cameron to protect him, and Mitchell shot underneath her. Cameron managed to get up and run and escape. After he ran away, Mitchell shot Arnisha in the foot and fled the scene. The area had multiple cameras, and Arnisha and Cameron both gave their descriptions of the shooter. They later picked him out of a lineup. Mitchell would later be picked up and was actually an Avenue Piru. Cameron had on all blue that day and was in the Crip area, so Mitchell said he was from 90 to see what was Cameron's affiliation. Mitchell would later be charged for the shooting. will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.